July is approaching rapidly, and with it, the season of Art Fight. This will be my second year drawing, and I couldn't be more hyped. I thought that I could do a little prep video showing all the work I've done so far, and also explain some of the lore of my newer OCs. Make sure to let me know in the comments if you like the long-form commentary videos. Most of my characters are from a fantasy world called Renalius. That's the one I'll be explaining for most of the video. These two are from a story about an angel coming to Earth for a mission, and these ones are kind of like from a cyberpunk universe, except it takes place in South Korea. The last one is a Genshin OC. The easiest character to start with would be Viserius, also called Viz. I started off with some traditional sketches and moved those to my drawing program. There's 18 deities in the story, 9 that rule natural elements, and 9 that rule human aspects like trade, love, the arts, etc. The latter are called unholy and are less revered. Viserius is unholy, the deity of destruction. He did not take well to being treated as lesser than the holy deities, so he was almost always focused on power and status. That is, until he happened to meet a human named Beowulf. If you like Greek tragedies, you'll like their story. Viz was very skeptical at first. Over the course of years, though, they became inseparable friends, willing to do anything for the other. Beowulf taught him a simpler life that was more than just war. But it couldn't last forever. Viserius was still sick of being treated worse because he was an unholy deity. He planned a rebellion along with some of the others in the same boat, hoping to flip the power dynamic. The holy deity saw Beowulf as an easy way to control him. Instead of rebellion, the holy deity in charge, named Sol for sun, killed Beowulf and destroyed a large part of the city as collateral. Viserius was furious, so he challenged Sol to a duel. As strong and angered as Viserius was, he couldn't win. He took a fatal blow to the chest. Viserius dragged himself over to his friend. Now that Beowulf was gone, his last wish was to corrupt the ground that they walked on. That wish came true. Half of Viserius' power was sealed away. The other half became a corruption known as the Rot. Now, I won't go into the specifics, but if you guys are curious about that, then you can always ask and I'll make a video about it. I have way more of this lore figured out than any of the other characters. Remember how I said half of Viserius' soul was sealed away? 300 years later, it got out, thus leading to the events of today. It reincarnated into Cecil Machaclair, who comes from a long family of aristocratic vampires. The same fatal wound on Viserius became Cecil's birthmark. He was born with that same magic, which led to him getting all the attention he could ever want as a child. The only problem now is that the power he has, since it's not supported by the body of a deity, is slowly fizzling away. By the time he's an adult, he's not near as powerful or noteworthy as he used to be. Thus, Cecil joins an organization that works at fighting the Rot, the same corruption that he caused in his past life. He acts flamboyant and rude because it at least gets him some of the attention he used to have. It's not until much later in the story that he learns he's the reincarnation of Viserius. That's probably all I'll say on Cecil's part, otherwise we'll start getting into spoilers for the actual story. After all that, we can finally get to the main character, Lucine Arcanis. I've gone through many different drafts of her outfit, but for Art Fight's sake, I decided to just post her uniform outfit for now. Lucine's the newest recruit to the same organization as Cecil. It's unnamed at the moment, but think of it like some kind of magical girl company that uses elemental magic to fight off the Rot. She came from a very small town where not much was expected of the people there, so it came as quite a shock to everyone there when she was chosen. Her elemental powers are still being developed. They come from the moon deity, who actually broke the rules in giving her magic. Lucine hopes to hide what her real skills actually are, but Cecil immediately recognizes her power because, in this world, pure-blooded vampires have a connection to the moon. She's brought onto the same team as him and a few others, the Opal Unit. Writing all that out, she kinda seems like a Mary Sue, but I promise you she's not. I haven't done too much work for Alon's story yet, but he's a team captain for a different unit, the Sardonyx unit. I'll speak on him in Tomoe, then let the speed paints finish up. He's pretty quiet and strategic, not to mention he's a yandere towards his coworker Tomoe. Tomoe is the captain of the Opal unit, which means she's the boss of Lucine and Cecil. She definitely knows that Alon really likes her, but usually she just uses it to tease him. This is like the first voice video I've made in years. Make sure to mention in the comments your Artfight user, that way everyone can know you were here. And definitely don't burn yourself out before Artfight.